Hey, welcome to Hot Takes. I'm Brian, and today I'm joined by a very special guest star, Nia Roberts. She's a digital strategist, and I've asked her to join in because I wanted to do a full funnel from social all the way to order placed analysis of a cupcake shop. And she's got a perspective on the social media side that I completely lack. So, Nia, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So excited. So let's just do it. Can you tell us a little bit about this cupcake shop before we jump in and start looking at things?
Yes, so actually, Georgetown Cupcake is pretty large, pretty famous. A quick view of their social profiles shows that they have over 200,000 likes and followers. So, pretty significant for any public profile on Facebook. I became acquainted with them actually a couple of months ago when I tried to place an order for a couple of cupcakes. And, you know, the site was a little interesting. It's what we're going to be looking into today, but the cupcakes are great. And I think we're just looking to see how we can help them increase their CRO, which would be cupcake sales.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Very diplomatic, like the way you put that. Let's do it. Okay, so let's start off in the social realm, which is kind of your turf, and kind of just give us a rundown of sort of what you see and how you think about the social media presence for this business.
All righty. Well, let me share my screen. Okay, so first I have their Instagram account. And as you can see, 581 followers with only about 4,700 posts. Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Scroll down, you see nice little pictures of all different types of cupcakes, frostings, things that they're running. As I mentioned, here are the Father's Day cupcakes that they're offering. And they get about, a good amount of likes per picture or content that they post, which also is impressive. One thing that I did notice, however, is that when you scroll the comments, you tend to really see, someone complaining. Like
Oof.
Here, you see someone says, can't get anyone to answer your Georgetown location. Just had 24 cupcakes delivered for my daughter's birthday party tomorrow morning, and they're completely destroyed. Looks like a exam roll.
Okay. So hit pause because it's like I'm seeing two different worlds here because these images, and correct me if you disagree, but I think these images are gorgeous. I think they're doing a great job with the visuals, and it seems like I don't have any frame of reference here, but like followers wise, likes wise, it seems like they've got the following, they're getting the engagement. Okay, and at the same time, on a little bit of a deeper dive. Yeah, that's not great. So can you talk about like how, what are you supposed to do though, right? Like it's public. Anybody can leave a comment like this. Like what can you do about
leave
this?
a comment. Anyone can leave a comment, and it's not really best brand practice to get in the habit of hiding comments or deleting comments if they're not favorable, because it just doesn't look good and it builds kind of distrust with your audience and your base. But to your point, when you have a comment like this that's on a very visible platform, and then right below it, you have another one with someone saying, can anyone answer my customer service phone? My grandmother's birthday was Friday. It's like, what do you do? So based upon my research, this is the only Georgetown Cupcake Instagram. However, when you go to the Facebook, you see that they have their primary account, Georgetown Cupcake, but then they also have these smaller accounts like Georgetown Cupcake Buckhead, which is the location I'm most familiar with. It's where I ordered my cupcakes from here in Atlanta. It's the local Atlanta location. But when you click on the Georgetown Cupcake Buckhead, let's see, won't let me click, but here's Georgetown Cupcake. There's not much on the Georgetown Cupcake Buckhead page anyway. So let's just get that out the way. There's not much traffic there. There's not much content. There's not much engagement. If there is content, it's just from them repurposing content posted on the main Georgetown Cupcake Facebook page.
Okay, let's stop there for a second because I don't know the answer. Like the story that's taking shape in my head is, I mean, the name is Georgetown. So clearly started as a local, I'm assuming single location, and then expanded with that's great, right? Like you're doing something right. And maybe we're catching them at a moment of expansion of growth where they're, kind of just catching up with themselves in a way.
Yeah.
But when you've got multiple locations like that, do you have a different Instagram and Facebook account for each one, or Like this, I'm seeing one Instagram and then multiple Facebooks. Like how do you think about that? Or what should you have there?
I almost feel as if they kind of need to do a complete rebrand from top to bottom. And instead of, naming their different places, because you see here, it's like Atlanta, Boston, yada, yada,
Oh,
yada.
yeah, there's a lot. Okay.
Right. And when you go to the comments and you see the people complaining, like, here you go again, they're not even saying like Georgetown, Atlanta, or Georgetown, whatever. Like they're naming very specific locations, which, I mean, I don't know at the top of my head how many of them there are, but just to simplify things for not only themselves, but their audience and those looking to order cupcakes, I think I would just be Georgetown Cupcake across the board.
Yeah.
Without the different,
just the one.
Yeah, without the modifiers to distinguish or to separate the two. Like there needs to be a complete revamp. And with that, I think there should just be one primary account where they have a team, a dedicated social team that responds to any inquiries or complaints that come through so that they can keep it out of the comment section and have it filtered through elsewhere. Now, I'm not 100% sure what Facebook is doing, but I'm pretty sure they have like an add-on that you can add to Messenger, or you can set up something in a way where your messages automatically get routed to an email address. And I think that would be the best solution for them on the social front. So I think what would be ideal would be a form on their website where people can go, and maybe with the form on the website, there'd be a drop-down menu where they can specify, what city or state that they're in. But right now, it seems like the biggest concern is to get these complaints out of the comment section and in front of people who can actually, help out.
So it feels a little like out of control, like multiple accounts on Facebook and all of these comments that are just kind of hanging there, kind of unaddressed. And so you're saying step one, kind of consolidate and just have the one account per platform, which hopefully makes it easier to address the comments. Which, can we come back to that? Like what, if it's, I get how it's a little questionable to just go deleting complaints, and I get how that could kind of come back around on you. So if you're not going to do that, like what do you do when you walk in and you got these comments on your page first thing in the morning? Like how should you deal with that?
Right. And from what I've seen, like on their Twitter page, kind of the same thing. It looks like Twitter is where they're most active with trying to combat those comments. I'm gonna look here, but you can see where someone will just come and they'll like complain, and you'll see Georgetown just says, "Oh, we apologize. Get in contact with whomever a store manager can assist," which is still very vague. This is a good strategy. I think it is easier to employ on Twitter because Twitter is more real time. You can catch things as they come. But when you are thinking about, the standard work week, like Monday through Friday, do you have someone who's available 24/7? Like, do you have a team who's available 24/7 to respond to these comments or these tweets and get these people in contact with whoever? Because we're not even just talking about, something like my cell phone isn't working and you reach out to T-Mobile and they say, "Oh, here we are. Here's a customer service number. Hopefully we get this resolved soon." Like, you're talking about people who are ordering things, who are ordering a product for a specific date and time and need that immediately. So it's definitely something to look into. That is more like a crisis communications type ordeal. I think the best solution at this point is to still find a dedicated team and just really establish a way to get the complaints off of your social profile and at least have them come through your website where you can maintain control and monitor and track the volume without any type of outside or external influence.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and we haven't opened up the website yet. We'll get there in a second, but like, if I get what you're saying, that there's a couple things. Like, for one, I'm assuming it's better to at least have a reply like we see here. Like they're active, they're engaged, they are like, I see you kind of, response to these complaints. But then to get ahead of that, to try to prevent so many complaints coming through on social, it's a matter of giving people another channel for that type of communication, just being really clear. Like, if you got any issues, here's where we'll help you. And it's not on our Instagram posts.
Exactly. Because I mean, just in addition to it being just not really, we're scrolling through Twitter, we're looking at all these great tweets and these cupcakes, and then we see a whole bunch of negative complaints. That's not fun. But then also we know how Twitter can be, and depending on the person who's complaining and their follower account and the absurdity of whatever they claim has happened with their order, there's also the potential for it to go viral, which has a slew of other problems.
Sure.
To come with it.
It's interesting to me anyway, to see the activity, the replies and the monitoring clearly happening on Twitter, but Instagram and Facebook almost seem kind of just left alone. And I want to be clear, like I should have said this at the outset, like we don't know what's going on inside anybody's business. This is just kind of an outside view. Right. And so who can say, but I like the feel I'm getting here is somebody that's just maybe overwhelmed. There's kind of too much going on.
Absolutely.
To track all these accounts, including multiple on Facebook, all these replies. It's just too much. So I like your suggestion to try to feed them into a separate channel in the first place and consolidate the accounts.
Social.
Yeah, ideally.
Social. Like if you're interacting with a business, like and it's Twitter, and I've been guilty of it before, but you have an issue and you're like, well, I want an immediate fast response, so I'm going to go and tweet my problem directly to the company, and hopefully someone responds. But you want to move your audience or your customers or your base, whoever, you want to move them away from that because it does hurt business.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's say that if you would, like, take us back to, let's say, Facebook. And let's go from Facebook to, let's decide that we didn't notice these comments, or the comments didn't dissuade us because the cupcakes look amazing. So we're going to place an order anyway, right? Okay. We're like, yes, this looks good. And I live within the delivery area and I really want some cupcakes. So I'm trying to see if there's like a post that we would probably convert from that would cause us to click through and place an order. Do you see any that seem likely? I guess that one looks like a mix or something. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, this looks like some type of partnership they have with Williams-Sonoma. So upon first glance, I'd say, okay, this is a reputable cupcake business if they have a partnership with Williams-Sonoma. But there isn't a link to order cupcakes. It's just to go in to purchase.
Okay. Yeah. We keep going. Let's find one. Let's imagine that one of these came across our feed. It didn't have negative comments, or else we didn't notice them. And we're going to the website. We're going to get some cupcakes today. Wow, that's a lot of, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of comments, and half of them are complaints. So let's say happy Tuesday.
Here we go.
Okay, here we are. Happy June, today and tomorrow only. Enter code June 21st. Well, June 21. Looks like we missed that one, but they have a link here to the website.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go.
So Georgetown Cupcake. All right. On first glance, anything you have to say about the website at first?
Yeah, I don't know, of course, but I do see, I think my eyes just kind of lose focus and just everything sort of goes blurry when I see that many items on the top navigation.
Right.
About menu, order, catering, corporate orders, news. It's too much for me. I'm not going to read that many menu items to decide which one I need. The carousel too, I think, carousels are typically something that internally are really popular, right? Like everybody gets to have their favorite image or offer on the homepage above the fold. That's great. But for the visitor, for me as a customer, it just keeps moving. And if I do see something I want, well, it's gone before I can do something about it. So I'll always rag people about their carousels. That's just me. The visuals are great though.
Yeah, pretty picture.
I'm inclined to say though, that little pink button, order online, it could be a little bolder. It could be a little more prominent, but there it is. I see it. Let's just go with it. If you would click order online, let's go place an order. All right. I think that's great, by the way. Like that is probably the main thing you want people to do on your website. And so having it right there, the single most prominent CTA above the fold. Yeah, good. So it got us here.
All right. And so they have different options here. They have pickup, delivery, shipping, and shipping if you want merchandise. So based off of the comments, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up, if that's okay.
Interesting. Wait, okay. So when you click that, what happened? I missed it. Did it scrolled you down or?
It did. So
Okay.
let's go back and replay that really quickly.
Yeah.
Ordering
Well,
online.
here's the question in my mind is like delivery versus shipping.
Right. What's the difference?
Yeah. And again, like this is another case where like internally, the difference is very clear, I'm sure, right? To them,
Right.
that they know exactly which circumstances call for each method. But again, as a person who just wants a cupcake, I I don't I don't know if I know the difference, or I don't know if I want to find out the difference. I guess,
Right.
but we can leave that alone.
It's a good point though, because I didn't think about that, but you are wondering what the difference is between delivery and shipping. If I have to guess, I'm going to assume that because they're so big, they have a lot of people who just love the cupcakes. And so if you don't live in New York, Boston, or wherever,
Right.
I guess you can order cupcakes from maybe the closest Georgetown Cupcake and they'll ship them to you. Or if you live relatively close, you can get them. There are delivery rules and pricing, there's shipping rules and pricing, and there are also pickup rules.
Yeah. So I don't want any rules, right? Like I want cupcakes. So I mean, easy for me to say sitting here at my computer, that I didn't build this website, but I would say that the pickup versus just getting cupcakes brought to me is the distinction in my mind. And I think to know whether I should be clicking delivery or shipping, I think it requires me to know your delivery radius and schedule. And I don't care about all that. So I almost wish I could just opt for bring cupcakes to me and you tell me whether you're going to ship them or deliver them once I tell you where I'm at. But
that'd be really enticing. I could see that if there were just like two big buttons.
Yeah,
and one just
love two big buttons.
Cupcake, bring the cupcake to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's really key too. Like that, eventually we're gonna have to type in address, put in a credit card. We know that's gonna happen. That's fine.
Right.
But early on in the funnel, if you can give me a question that's like pretty easy but also engaging, like that, like just two choices, I think you really can't lose with that. So we won't go down that path because we did see that terrible comment about it looked like the van rolled and the cupcakes rolled. So you're going to be a good sport and go just pick them up. Yeah, sorry. Thanks for replaying that. So you click it.
Okay. So when you press pick up, it looks like you're shifted down.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make another comment here. And it's just like similar to a traditional e-commerce where you're just buying something online for delivery, like a Shopify store or something. A really common thing you'll see is once you get into the funnel here, once you're like, okay, I'm really trying to buy something, a lot of the window dressing falls away, like the navigation goes minimal and there's nothing but maybe a logo to click and all the extra stuff on the sidebar and all that disappears because it's focused on the experience. Like, let me just complete this task. And so I see that like 10-point looking text in between the buttons and the select a store. And I'm like, I don't know, like, do I have to read that? I don't want to read that. So nitpicking a little bit.
But to that point, I feel you. And you wouldn't want to read it. But this is actually important because it's like for orders larger than, however, you have to actually contact them by clicking this button. And if you're just skipping all of that and you just jump down here, you're totally missing that.
Okay. And so, and my heart goes out for the difficulty here because if you just take me down the path and let me start, completing an order and then you hit me with, oh, hey, sorry, you got to give us a call. I'm going to hate you for that, I guess. But I think it comes down to like how common are those orders? Could we have like the two big buttons and then a little text link that says, large and corporate orders to take me down a third path? And like people like you and me can just ignore that. I don't want to read that text is what I'm saying.
I almost think it would be cool if whatever they did to like make the screen shift down once you click pickup, if they could have that happen again and it becomes the two big buttons that you suggested. And one is like personal order or corporate or catering.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just navigates you to whichever is the most appropriate.
Yeah. I love that. I love that idea for sure. Like, if the whole start to finish can be just pick one of these two or three buttons until it's time to put in a credit card, that's ideal. Like we're all lazy, we're all in a hurry, and we're all kind of like anchored to whatever site has the easiest experience on the internet.
Right.
Once we've had that, we want that every time. So yeah, I'm with you. That whatever. Again, easy for me to sit here and say, but
Right.
kind of rethinking this experience about which one. Okay, cool. Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
That for sure. I would be curious to see how many people just kind of leave at this step.
Yeah, like they're like, this is
What?
hard.
Yeah,
They're talking
wait,
about corporate orders and 10 dozen cupcakes. And if you're terrible, I was an English major, so if you're terrible at math, like I am, at first it said 10 dozen. I was like, if I order 10 cupcakes, there's a difference between 10 and 10 dozen cupcakes.
Yeah, I did the same thing though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
select a store. So that, okay, we're trying to pick up. So like that totally makes sense. Sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I wonder, I don't want to get too much into it, but did it ask you for like to use your location when you hit this page, or do you have that like disabled or okay?
It didn't. This drop down menu is pretty much all you get.
Okay.
And
because those, I'm actually not sure where Bethesda is, if I'm honest, but the rest of them, they seem like distant enough that they could probably infer from where I'm located.
Bethesda is in Maryland.
Okay.
But just a quick observation. So I don't know about you, but when I was looking at the social profiles and I saw all of the locations they had listed, it seemed like there were way more locations. And then when you come and you do the drop down, it's like, really, there are only like 6. I think that's something they should make it a point to communicate better, because it almost feels like it's, on one hand, it seems as if there's increased accessibility. And so you're like, oh, well, I can get these cupcakes anywhere because it seems like they're all over the place. They have all of these locations, but when in all actuality, it looks like there are only these stores and there's only one store per place. So they have New York, but it looks like they only have a Soho location. They have California, but they only have a Los Angeles location. Georgetown, of course, Boston, Bethesda, and Atlanta. So it's actually not as widespread as previously thought. This
is a good point. And it makes me think, actually, back to the top, like, what are we trying to do here? Like, we're here because we want cupcakes. I still want cupcakes. This page isn't actually about cupcakes at all.
Right.
And I guess I wonder if there's any way to make this experience, instead of making it about, do you want to pick them up or do you want them delivered or do you want them shipped? Okay, well, which store do you want to get them from? Which again, I don't care about any of that. I wonder if this could jump us right into like, pick your cupcakes, build your box, tell us what you want, show me some cupcakes, let me pick them out. And then follow up later with the whole, okay, hey, like, based on your location, you could pick them up or have them delivered, or based on your location, you're going to have them shipped, and like, hit me with that later. Once I've like seen the cupcakes and I can already taste them. Like these steps, like nobody cares about these steps.
Yeah, so, no one cares.
But okay, Atlanta, sure. Yeah, let's get some cupcakes. Okay.
Let's see, date and time. Father's Day is this weekend, right? I'm thinking I'm going to order some cupcakes for my dad.
Nice.
I will pick them up Saturday.
Cool. Okay.
Let's say Saturday, I'm going to want to sleep in. Let's do 2 p.m. Continue. Okay.
Here we go. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the fun part. If there's any way to shove this up for further, like sooner in the experience, it is something I would consider, because now I'm leaning in. Now I'm like, ooh, what do we got here?
So this is personally where things were the most complicated for me when ordering previously. As you can see, there's this custom assortment where you can build your custom assortment off of their daily menu of rotating flavors. And then down here, they have prepackaged assortments, but they have so many.
Oh.
And they look pretty, but you're not 100% sure what they are, because they have these cute little names like the unicorn cupcakes and the rainbow cupcakes. And you're like, well, what flavor is that? And what are they? Wait,
will you scroll back up? I just think I saw in the unicorn one, available September 1st through September 30th.
Wow. See, and you missed those little details.
Yeah. So I mean, just to clarify, like, check me here. That means we can't order those right now?
I'm going to be completely honest. I scrolled down my first time interacting with this website. I saw all of this. I got confused and I was like, I don't know what these are. And so I immediately just kind of scrolled back up, which was quite a long scroll, as you see. And I just did build a custom assortment.
Yeah, okay,
I was like,
can't go wrong.
I'll just go ahead and build my own. And so I clicked. And then the problem I ran into here is like, you have this little box, which I missed at first. And so here you say how many cupcakes you want. And you're like, I don't know. I mean, what comes in a standard cupcake box? Is it 6? Is it 12? Like, which makes sense? Does it have to be an even number? Can it be an odd number?
Right.
So I just said 12.
Okay.
Well enough. And then these are the flavors.
Back to your 2 big buttons. You know, it almost might be easier, like less thought and less typing for us. If it was just like, hey, do you want 3, 6, or 12? Or, you know, something like that.
Right. Yeah. Decide for us. Like, don't give me options because that overwhelms me.
Pretty much.
And when you get down here, it's more selecting. Do you want 7 chocolate and 5 of these and then 2 of those? And again, if you're an English major, you're like me, you're like, okay, that's 12, that's 14 cupcakes. That's too many.
Yeah. Try it though. Would you try it, like putting in a number that doesn't match the number? Oh wait.
I haven't done that. So let's see.
Actually, my bad. It's one or the other, right? It's either put a number in the top and they'll choose for you, or it's put in numbers down below here, right?
I think you just select all of it yourself.
Okay.
You see?
Oh no, see, you're about to spend $100 on cupcakes. Yeah. So again, Nia, back to your 2 big buttons. Do you want us to pick, or do you want to pick your own? And let me click one big button based on my preference there, and then just let me, do one and if I pick, I want you to choose for me. Well, then we're on to the next step. I don't have to see any of this. So
exactly. And let me say, it's a little bit simpler because we're on a desktop, but originally I did it on my phone and it was a little bit more complicated. And I was curious about the flavors and I was like, well, this sounds cool, but like, what does it look like? And so you can click and you get this little window. I almost would prefer that you don't have to click, that like you can just kind of hover.
Yeah.
And then a nice little profile comes to show you what it is instead of having to do all of this clicking and exiting out. And I wish the text was bigger.
I guess I wish I could see pictures next to all of them.
Yeah.
If I could just make a wish here, it would be, that would be a longer page maybe, but I could just kind of scroll down and tap, yep, that one. Ooh, 2 of these and so on. Because I think, you're going to end up clicking almost every single thing on this list.
Exactly. Before
you're done. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. So, all right, let's stay on the task here now. What kind of cupcakes for your dad? What's going to be?
This guy, he likes red velvet. So how many cupcakes am I ordering? I'm ordering 12, right?
I think you can order as many as you want.
Oh, geez. Let's do 12.
12 red velvet. Okay.
Give him 4 red velvet. 4 dad chocolates and 4 dad vanillas.
Nice.
78.
Okay.
How's that 24?
Right?
Is that math? Am I mathing wrong?
Yeah, you broke it. So
I broke it.
Yep.
So is it in addition to these?
Right. That's how I'm reading it. Yeah.
That's really confusing. I'm totally stumped now.
Yeah.
So let's do that and scroll down and bam.
38. Okay.
But beforehand, I would have been really happy and thought I did something and then get to the checkout and I'm like, why do I have 24 cupcakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We did it.
We did. More options.
Okay.
There's hand rolled fondant. It's like, I don't know what these are.
Yeah. And I'll stop here because this is one point where, I don't know who's the ideal customer, who's the typical customer. And this might be actually something that most people coming through, like they know exactly what they want here. They have strong feelings about the decorations, I guess. But for me, again, I'm having to educate myself a lot as we go through this funnel about, where are you located? What is delivery versus shipping? What decoration options do you have and what do they mean? Oh, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to choose standard.
Good. Yeah.
Well, they have options here that tell you, okay, so please decorate my cupcakes with Georgetown Cupcake signature fondant. Am I saying that right? And seasonal accents.
So.
Custom. Personalize your cupcakes with Georgetown. It's overwhelming for me.
I would really like to meet somebody who chooses this option. And I like this might it's like block script. This is a lot. I wonder though if I'm just not the right audience here, because I look at that and I'm like, who in the world wants to who just give me some pretty cupcakes,
right.
let me click a picture of a cupcake and then make it come to my house and we're good.
Right.
So I don't know though. I mean, I suppose there's folks who really appreciate these options, but I'm overwhelmed.
Is it a good user experience though? Like from your expertise, would you prefer for all of this to just be taken out of the general cupcake ordering process and instead funneled over into only like the corporate catering or like custom?
Yeah. I mean, on their side, like how many people are actually ordering stuff with this degree of specificity? And my hunch is not many. And if I'm right about that, then yeah, like bury those options somewhere where most people don't have to see them, don't have to think about them. Like, let me just order this stuff and be good with it. If I'm wrong, and actually, I don't know, 1/2 of the people ordering these cupcakes, they're like typing on all those boxes and they're like, oh, script for this one and block for like, if that's a thing, then even still, I guess, I don't know, like I feel like that should be buried deep beneath like, hey, I want to customize things.
I feel like that definitely should be a contact us button, because I'm also wondering how accurate are they going to get your instructions?
Back to the whole expectation setting at the social media level where yeah, I know it's totally a thing, right? Like you got to think like, how fancy can I make my order before I can expect it to come through wrong with any business,
Right.
So yeah, I would have been good to skip that step. That's just me. So
so we're going to click standard.
Yeah.
Which is whatever they decide to do as Georgetown Cupcake, whatever their usual thing is.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, think about going to a cupcake shop. They got what they got and you pick the ones you like and you're happy with it. So,
and that's that.
Unless this customization is like the whole point of their brand. And I suspect it's not, because I suspect the point of their brand is beautiful, delicious cupcakes enough.
Right.
So.
And I don't know what all of this is. Special message for recipient though. I'll say happy Father's Day, Daddy.
So what's that do? Like, what's that?
I have no clue, but it's a special message for the recipient, optional. It's free. Yeah. So it's a Father's Day gift. So I'm going to put Happy Father's Day, Daddy. I'm guessing it's just going to be like a little note card that they attach to the box.
Cool.
And then here, please indicate if you have any special packaging or other instructions, which was just confused me even more because I thought I just did that and all of that up here. So.
Yeah.
All right. But I think we're done. I think we did it.
Cool.
Let's add it to our cart. There's our order. Upon first glance, again, it's my first time doing it on the website, so I'm a little confused. But at first I was taken aback because I'm like, I didn't order all of these.
Right.
Why is this in my cart? But it's not.
Interesting, because what I thought was we're back where we started and it didn't take. Like we have to start over. Like something broke or went wrong.
Right. But it's over here, small.
Got it. Okay. So it did add to cart. There's no primary CTA here, I guess, right? Like I see 4 pink buttons just above the fold alone. Build a custom assortment, add to cart, checkout with level up. Not sure what that is.
Right.
So again, there's the question of like, how do people use this site? And of course I don't know, but how common is it for people to come back and do multiple entries from this page? I'm just not sure.
And accidentally like just keep going in a circle of ordering the same thing.
Yeah, maybe that needs to be a thing, but I was confused by it. I was expecting like, okay, give us your credit card. Let's go. Let's do this. So, okay. Interesting.
Okay. So let's check out. Okay. I don't have an account. I'm going to check out as guest. And then here's all of this. Okay.
Interesting.
Let's do this one here. So luckily I'm able to fill that out just off of autofill, auto-populate, whatever. Okay, continue. Please review your order before entering your payment information below, and you have to check a box. No one reads terms and conditions, unfortunately. But hey, okay. All right. And it looks like we're all good. Anything jumping out at you?
No, this part, pretty standard.
Pretty standard,
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. So no turning back. Submit order. And that's it. We did it.
We did it. Okay. Cool. I guess. Okay, there's your pickup time. I guess that's the one thing I was looking for. Is okay. Wait, what do we agree to again? Remind me.
Right.
But I'm sure that'll be in the email, so that's fine.
Right. So let's check the email, because at first glance, when I saw pickup information and my address, I was like, well, what? No, I'm not picking it up at my address.
Right.
So let's minimize this. Let's go here, more Georgetown. And let's go to my email address. Okay. So here's my confirmation order number. Everything I asked for. Okay, it's just a rundown. And here are, if you have issues, I guess, just a fun little list of all of the email addresses and phone numbers with instruction to not reply to this email. And here, a message. Oh, just saying that I ordered. Okay.
Not sure what to make of that.
Right. I thought someone had personally sent me a message about my order.
Yeah, well, and that's a good call out, because I think the confirmation, maybe if it was written like it was meant to be read by a human, I think it might lead with hey, don't forget this Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll be waiting for you. We'll have your order ready. Thanks for your order. This gives you all the information, but the important part is not forgetting to pick them up and showing up at the right time. And so we'll see how it goes. Maybe you'll get, they took your email, your phone, all that stuff. So maybe you'll get a text reminder or an email reminder day of. That'd be nice, hopefully.
It would, because I'm still not seeing the address of where I'm supposed to pick up the cupcake.
Oh, okay. Wait, good call out.
I haven't seen it yet.
Are you sure? Wait, scroll back up. For sure. It's got to be.
Okay, top to bottom.
Pickup location, Atlanta. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap. You know what? So always room for improvement, no matter what we do. And I think we saw a few things there. So just a quick recap, I guess, from my perspective on the website. It's really, I like how you called it out. Can I get 2 big buttons? Can every web page of my life be just 2 big buttons? Maybe 3, maybe 1. And so the process, I would reverse the order if possible. I would get people to pick those cupcakes, the sooner the better, because they look great. And that's the fun part. And then once I picked them, then I don't care how many forms I have to fill out to get them, because now I want them. So that and I guess if we are correct in assuming that some of those options are actually not available for several months, then I would say it's probably safe to leave those off until they're available.
Yeah.
That's a bit of overwhelm. I think you're right to call that out.
Right.
And then the follow-up for sure, just like, I mean, I think we're lucky, like, you know where the store is, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Thankfully. So you're going to get these cupcakes, but yeah, that seems like when you do go for the pickup option, that should be front and center. Like, hey, we'll see you here at this time and this date. Can't wait for you to walk in. We'll have them ready, versus just that kind of like, it just barfed out all of the form fields into an email.
Right.
It is an opportunity just to smooth some of the friction
Right.
along the way.
Right.
And then backing it out, because I don't want to lose this, to the social media side. Like, can you kind of recap a couple of, if you were to join in and try to help this team, like, what are some of the first things you would think about doing?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna share again if I can.
Sure. Yeah.
Because one thing we didn't look to see is, what do they do if you want to contact them? Okay. So say I have an issue with my order. It looks like I can call or I can send an email. And so back to your question, what to do about the complaints online? Yeah. I would simply have a form somewhere on here that says, maybe not complaint, because that's a harsh word, but just a box that has multiple things like, feedback, questions, something, because you might be reaching out for something rather or outside of just a complaint. But it's kind of disheartening if you have an issue to just come and see a number and
no wonder people are putting them on blast on Instagram and Facebook. Right. So I think that's such a good point that I wouldn't have really thought about, but just collect it all in one, as much as you can in one place. And of course, follow up promptly and resolve stuff, but that's the way to deal with the overwhelm. And then the other thing I got from what you said too, that I think is key, is like, y'all, if you're out there and you're expanding, you're going to open up new stores or new locations of your business. It's correct me if I misunderstood this, Nia, but like, it's okay just to keep the one social account per platform.
It is,
especially if your resources are spread thin. Right. You don't have to create a new account for each location.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier for you and the customer.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Well, this is fun. Thanks for joining.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I hope Georgetown Cupcake sees this video.
I hope that your cupcakes are there and as ordered, and that you find the right location, and that your dad enjoys them.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Have a good one.